I'm gonna spray weeds, mow lawn, take a shower, then row, then lift weights, then get this rice into those buckets. So let's go. These black hoses, I love these things. These are the ones that I've had around here for years and years. This one's years old, but it is so hot from sitting in the sun today. I've got to let it run for, I don't know, a good 60 seconds probably before it cools off. Literally, I'll bet it's coming out at, I'll bet it's 300 degrees. Like melts the skin off of you. Then turn that down some. Chemicals already in. I try to fill from the front because it inevitably is going to run all over, and then it keeps it on the front of the sprayer instead of so much on the back. Although it seems like every time I do this, I get this shit all over me somehow. Now hopefully the battery still has enough life in it, because I left it out here and it's probably been out here for a month off the charger, and I don't have any other batteries that match this, so I don't have one just sitting around charged. So now I'm going to move around here as fast as I can and try to get all of this done while I have sunlight. I've got a lot to do and a little time to do it. All right, second 5 gallons. Came in to reload, throw the hat on. Head's already fried. You like my hat? It's a Tilly's vent hat, I think is what it's called. I'll put a link in Amazon. I've got a bunch of them. They're awesome. I've had them for years. Most of these are probably 10 years old right now, so check them out. Probably 15 minutes later, and I had to let this go probably another 30 seconds because it was so hot just from sitting in the sun. And that's all the sun that was there. It's maybe 10 feet of hoses in the sun. The rest of this hose is in the shade. That's how well these things work for solar water heating. All right, 20 gallons of weed killer down. Second brownie. Had a pork chop. Had one of the peaches we got today. It was delicious. Now I'm gonna mow this. And then I'm gonna go in there, take a shower, get the chemical and grass off of me. And then I'm gonna work out. And then I need to build another one of our lunch sacks, final one, get all the final math ready to go for Monday. And I got about 1,000 pounds, well no, it's probably more than 1,000 pounds of rice to get in buckets. All right, so it looked like this, and now it looks like this. I leave this all shaggy on the berm here because it slows water down. If I cut it really low and it's just the berm, When we get a lot of rain, it hits that and kind of flows over it. The grass, it slows it down and funnels it into the pond. Pond is really low right now. We could use some rain, and it's very deceptive. Every time I look at it, I see the reflection on the water of the dirt, and I think it's lower. It's actually not as low as I thought it was, but it is probably 6 feet low, and it's a good 25 feet here. Now, I just sprayed. I'm hearing thunder. I just pulled my ears out. I'm listening to Prepping 2.0, and then I was listening to Survival Podcast before that. So, what's up, Glenn Tate, Shelby Gallagher? Y'all know who Jack is, Jack Spirko. I hate this weed matting. It's just everywhere. We used it on the dam, and somehow the dog has drug it over here. So, question. I sprayed 25 gallons of Roundup, or some commercial version of it. 45%, I think. Ethylene, whatever that stuff is. Glyphosate. So, it's the red tub, the red container, a lot stronger. Anyways, it's gonna rain now. It's been on the material's been on the weeds for about an hour. If it rains, will that still kill the weeds, or is it a lost cause and I have to reapply? And it seems to work better on a hot day because it sucks it in, right? That's how it works, it sucks it in. So this is new grass over here. This not so much. This has all been seeded, but as you see, it's doing pretty much nothing. It's doing really well over in the shade. I had a memory pop up from 4 years ago today, put it up on Facebook, and it's this elevated water tub. I got a lot of comments about it. People didn't seem to realize that we actually have several of them around like that. That's just rail ties, cut in half, stacked up. The stack is about 6 feet. That's sitting on top. We have some ratcheting tie downs holding, 2 of them holding it on. That's right on the property edge where wind whips through. It's about a 60-foot drop down to the road there, and the weather comes straight through there. That is not staked down. It is literally just weight, 300 gallons of water on top of those. They're not nailed together or anything. And it's been there 4 years. We've never had one of them turn over. So do what you want to do with it. If you want to reinforce it more, I'm not telling you not to. I'm just telling you we didn't. This little bird shows up every time I mow. Or a bird just like him. He's eating bugs. So anytime I'm mowing, look at the strip here. So I'm cutting it at 3 inches, 3.5 inches. You can see this is probably closer to 5 right here. And you can kind of see the strip down here. You can see it a lot different in some of the other areas. The ground's not very level here. This mower will go way faster than the terrain will allow me to. But what I'm talking about is when I'm mowing, let's call this the street. I don't ever mow in the direction that the grass clippings go to the street. You are the biggest fucking asshole in the world if you do that. I'm not even a motorcycle rider. Just the sheer fact that you're a piece of shit if you do that, because it just looks shitty, you fucking lazy fuck. So, mow, not this direction. I mow several passes the opposite direction so that the grass clippings go over here. Then I turn around and come the other direction so that it's throwing fresh grass clippings over here so that they're not piling up over here and rotting like you kind of starting to see right here. I don't want this. This is what dies on the grass and turns brown and looks like just strips of poop all the way down your lawn. It just looks shitty. So then I come back and I mow the opposite direction. So the first few passes are going to be to keep it off of the sidewalk or off of the street, because most of you assholes don't go back and sweep it up. You don't even fucking blow it off of there. You just leave it for somebody else to deal with. And then I mow the other direction so that it doesn't rot. It also comes over here and starts to break down, and then the grass is just all smooth. It's just common sense. And I'm in a bunch of like landscaping groups, business groups on Facebook, and it's amazing just the shit caliber of people in there. I really feel like a lot of those guys, they're just like young and they start a business so that they don't have to have a real job. And most of them, most of them are never going to go anywhere. There's some real professional dudes in there. Like, I've learned some business principles from some of those guys, and it's amazing to see these kids, like young kids, and watch. And you can click on their profiles and see 3 or 4 years worth of posting where they started with a walk behind mower, bought a riding mower, bought a zero turn, bought a trailer, bought a truck, and now they have multiple employees working for them. Awesome. Why can't you fucking adults do the same thing? And why can't you take some pride and sign your name to that shit? If you're gonna leave them grass clippings out there, why don't you go ahead and put your fucking phone number and your social security number and just put your fucking home address out on the fucking street there? Because if you had to sign the work, you definitely wouldn't do low quality work. That's right, that's what I'm saying. Talk about those birds pretty often when I'm out mowing. I don't know what they are. They got a little long beak. They're pretty small, kind of brown, have a gray or white belly. And I see them all the time up there on the top on the fence line by the blueberries. But I just saw something fly from tree to tree here, and this is this guy. Every time I mow, they're called. But it's just a small little bird. It looks young. It's not, though. That's not the case. It's just a small bird. And it eats bugs. As I mow, it follows behind me and just snatches. There he is. See him just dove down there and caught a bug. And they're pretty friendly. They look like real skinny little sparrows, like little house sparrows. I don't know how close he's going to let me get. See if he'll. I don't think he's gonna fly back over to this one, but they're very curious, almost friendly. Like, you can get a couple arm lengths away from them, but it's just cool that he's out here every single time I mow. And I don't know if it's the same one or not. Mockingbirds, when you see mockingbirds, it's almost always the same one. They're very territorial. I don't know if that's the case with these guys. It's just cool. They're out here eating their bugs. Which reminds me, that's something else. I need to wash this off. It's sitting outside. I need to put bat houses up. I have all these lights up on all of the poles. We have a lot of light. It lights up. So it attracts bugs around all the lights. And there's just bats just devastating the bugs. Moths just eating them, like right out of the air, just eating them and dropping the corpses on the ground. So it's pretty cool. But I need to put bat houses out. I also need to put up some of those elevated bird houses. They're up on poles and have a lot of like gourds or, you know, real fancy, nice looking like bird houses for blue martins and stuff like that. I need some of that too. You can't ever have too much bug control. There he is. He's sitting on this. I don't know if you guys. He's on this little branch right over here. GoPro, man. You know how you'd be an awesome camera if you just had zoom. Can you see him up there? I don't know if you guys can. There he goes. He's like, hey buddy, you're getting too close. Okay, so I put down 20 gallons of grass killer, weed killer. I have now mowed. I now have dirt all over my giant phone case. It's a battery, guys. I know everybody's like, what kind of phone is that? And now I'm gonna go in here, take a shower, get this chemical off of me. And I always have bugs on me when I mow, creepy crawlies. Take a shower, get cleaned up, put on clean inside clothes, take the poop shoes off. Yo, babe.
Yo, babe.
What's in your witch's cauldron?
Okra.
Okra? Has this already been in?
Yep.
Is it super hot? It is super hot.
Yeah. It was in boiling water.
Duh. Duh. Duh, you. Oh boy, oh boy. What's with the flies all over you? Okay, my hope is, because the wire here is pretty big, the rabbit can get their feet through. My hope is when I start the bike here, it drives them back there onto that little platform. I'll pull this slowly and tow this to where I want it on the other side. We can move them. You could drag it. They're pretty heavy. You could move it with 2 people, but it's a lot more convenient to move it with the 4-wheeler. And then the tubular nylon, I pull that off because this knucklehead here wants to chew them up. Okay. Yes, I could have towed it straight and not had to do the U-turn, but the platform's on that side, and that's what I wanted them. That's why I did the U-turn. I wanted them to go on the platform, which they did. Now they're on fresh grass and they're eating it up. When I first started, a couple of them were excited to have fresh grass and were trying to eat it while I was moving. We move these things like 4 times a day, so it's not like they're starving. They just are excited to have fresh grass. I'll back up, take this one off, and then go get that one. You can see where I moved them from. From that side to this side, we've never had rabbits here. And my intention is to move them exactly 8 feet every day so that we don't have random dead spots all over the grass like these. Just these ugly ass little random rectangles everywhere. So I'm gonna put them on fresh grass, and hopefully every day when we move them, we'll keep them in a straight line. This one duck, every time I open the pen, she goes in, eats. Every time I come up here, she's out. My suspicion is she has a nest hidden somewhere. Guinea Keats. Keep, keep. Close this. I might get sidetracked, not come back up here for a minute. He eats hoses. It's literally easier to go get a pitcher of water than to hook up a hose and fill these water bowls. We probably need some kind of water catchment system where it actually fills the bowls on its own, but that would add weight. I didn't mow right here because I was going to put the rabbits over here. Operation Trim the Bush has been completed. I'm going to go up here and feed and water the rabbits. Just top waters off, see if anybody's out, fill them up. Just while I'm out here in case I get sidetracked later, save me from having to worry with it. This motorcycle, this 4-wheeler, smells like it's going to catch on fire. There's a brand new exhaust pipe on here. Looks titanium. I'm sure it's not. I don't know, maybe it is. But it's got a burning smell. It's burning off all the... I'm sure it's heating up the silencer packing and any, grease and shit that's on there. The rabbits out in the cage, we need to slaughter those and get all these little bunnies out on grass. In another 3-4 months here, we won't have any grass out here, and quite possibly we'll have snow or ice. So the rabbits, while we could put them out there, they would live just fine. We would have to feed them. So there's no advantage to having them on grass. It's actually more work to keep them on grass. And we're producing animals to produce meat. So it's time to convert them into meat. I'm gonna run through here, top feeders. Filling these feeders doesn't do anything. It's actually better to have them about halfway, because you can push your fingers down in there and fill the trough up. These feeders do not free flow. Like, could the rabbit get the food out? Maybe. Some of these rabbits though would not. They just sit there and starve. And then like this rabbit backs its ass up here and pisses here like a litter box. So you've got to dig those out and then push those through so that this rabbit can even eat. So while it seems like a good idea, it's not always what it seems. And then having these bowls, they use it as a litter box. You can see they literally just shit in it. Which means they're probably peeing in it, but so I don't ever fill them all the way, because we end up having to throw away half of it. And digging your fingers down in there through all the bulk of pellets, when it finally hits the bottom, it slices your finger open some. Check these guys, they'll need water. We make sure these guys always have food, let them have as much as they want. The goal is to grow them up to full size so that we can put them in one of these big 10 by 10 kennels for a few more weeks and then turn them loose. All right, workout complete. I did all of it. All of it. All of it. I'm watching Yanasa TV. I just listened to Kamala Harris on CNN talk about why the world all has to go vegetarian or the Earth's gonna die. Fucking retards. Nice and cool in here. Little multi-cam black mini backpacks. Have you seen my backpack? Side pouches go on the sides, little pouches go on the insides. You can make your tiny pack a little bit bigger pack.